this video, I'll be sharing with you the backpacking gear items that I'll be testing for the 2020 season. But if you're new to this channel, my name is Wes, and welcome to Backpacking Central, where we're all about hiking, survival, and preparedness. Let's get into it. So to start off, I was surfing on REI, and I was actually looking. I usually use a hammock for hammock camping. I've used it the last couple times I've been camping, and it's very comfortable. You know, it gets you off the ground. It's nice to be able to use that. And I had a little undercoat I was testing out, which wasn't adequate to my needs for the colder weather, so I was looking into a new one, more substantial one that costs a little bit more money rather than my used gear that I got. If you want to check that out, you can go check out one of my other videos I'll list it here in the YouTube card up here or wherever it is. So I was looking on REI and I actually found a gear bundle, and I believe this was for gear that was being phased out, or last year's gear or something like that, because they don't sell it anymore on REI, but that's okay. I mean, I don't care. So it was a package deal with a tent, a sleeping bag, and a sleeping pad. This is a two-person tent, which generally a two-person is really a one-person, especially for me, being 6'4". I generally will not fit in a regular tent long ways. I barely fit in it diagonal. And I will get, this will just be showing you the outside of the gear. I'll get a review video of me taking it apart and and showing you how to put it together. But this is the REI Passage 2 tent. 88 inches long, 52 inches wide, and 40 inches high. It says it weighs 4 pounds, 13 ounces. It's a pretty nice tent. It's got some nice storage pockets. This will be my first backpacking tent, so I'll let you know how this goes when I take it camping here shortly in the winter. I want to see how it works in the cold. And it came with a 30-degree sleeping bag. So this bag is actually too big. This can be compressed down. I read in the reviews you can get a 10-liter compression sack, which I will be doing. This is the long one, which I will need. I still just fit in it. I'm 6'4", and I think it's only for 6'6". But it's a pretty tight fit on my head. But I guess you want it to be in 30 degrees. But I've sat in it. I fit in it. The zipper's a little finicky. But it says the comfort's 38 degrees and the limit's 29. So we will see. It depends on how cold I'll take this into. It's got a nice handle on the bottom here. But most likely I'll be scrapping this the sack they have here. And then unrolled or taken out of the pack. Comes with a little sack. It's like this big. It's around here somewhere. It's a sleeping pad. It's kind of thin. It's actually pretty thin, at least from what I'm used to sleeping. You just pump it up here. You just blow on it. It doesn't take a ton. Two separate places, inflate, deflate. It's decent padding. We'll see. I actually, it doesn't have a super crazy R value. I'll put it on the I think it's 2.9 or something, or 2.8, maybe 2.6, something like that. So in addition to that, I bought the Thermarest Ridge Rest So Light. This is a little rollout sleeping pad, pretty thin. You can strap it on the bottom of your pack with the two straps, or on top, right behind your head up here. It weighs 1 pound, 3 ounces. It has a 2.1 R value, which is interesting because I think on the website this says 2.1. On the website I think it says it's 2.6. So this is just to add some extra protection for underneath the ground with the relatively low R value on the sleeping pad. This is a lot wider. This is 25 inches wide. I think it's 6 or 8 inches wider than the sleeping pad, but this is the longer one. They have a couple different sizes for this one. This is the longer one. Then my feet usually get pretty cold, so this is the one I will be using and testing in conjunction with the REI bundle. I believe the bundle was $215 or $220 shipped, which I thought was a pretty good deal because you could spend that much on a sleeping bag and or a sleeping. Hell, you can spend that on a sleeping pad. Plus the $30 I think on Amazon that this was, because REI didn't have the longer size in this. Those are some of my gear. In addition, this, not completely backpacking related in terms of hiking, backpacking, but this is a backpack. This was $30. This has crazy good reviews on Amazon. It's pretty from what I have looked at so far, pretty high quality. It's got a cool little USB port on the end here. I will have a specific in-depth review of this in a couple weeks here. You can check that out. But I believe this was $30. I love this gray color, good airport travel, stuff like that. We got a little hidden pocket in the back here. So that is the Maton, I don't even know how to say it, bag. You can click the link in the description to check that out. Moving on, my stove. I have the Espit stove, which I actually brought camping on my last video that I was talking about with camping, and I'm glad I was prepared. We had fire and firewood to be able to cook because I used it and I couldn't get the little fuel tabs to even boil water. So I wanted to get into these butane, propane, whatever these are, fuel blend stoves. So I went, and these actually, fun fact, if you go on Amazon, these are like 15 and 20 bucks or some crazy number. And I was looking and I didn't think they were that expensive in the store, and I went to REI and these are $5 a piece. So I guess for shipping reasons they're more expensive on Amazon, not sure. So I will leave a link to where you can get them at REI, or you should go to an REI or your camping store. They're probably cheaper. So I got several of them. I got 3 of the smaller ones. And if you look, they're the same price, but through the different brands, they're different size of fuels. So like this is the MSR and the Jetboil. The smaller Jetboil was like less, it wasn't a ton, but it was like 10 less grams of fuel in here for the same price. And then it was vice versa for this one. So the Jetboil, this is the bigger one, 230 grams. And the MSR one, same price. I think this was $6 or $10 or something like that. It wasn't that. It was a lot cheaper than the ones they have on Amazon. But the MSR one was less. I will be doing reviews of the stove and how these are different and or better if they are. And then on Amazon, I'll put all this stuff will be down in the description here. This is all my new gear. This is a little plastic, weighs nothing, fold out little triangle stand for if you have some shaky ground or not stable ground, you could put it in the bottom. You just clip it in and it'll spin around to give a little more sturdy base. If you have a pot, depending on how tall yours is, if it's up here, depending on how big, you don't want that falling over. So this helps it to be more stable, and it also fits the bigger one. It's got 2 grooves in there. You just click it in. This is it's a little tighter on this one, but it works anyways. This is already more stable because it's a bigger circle, but this allows for extra stability for cooking. And then this is the coolest thing out of all of them. This is the BRS little stove, and it's like 22 grams, I think. It's the lightest thing ever, and it comes with this little, I got this on Amazon, it comes with this little pouch, and it's got an extra O-ring to seal it onto the canisters. But it's the tiniest little thing, and I'm sure you've seen some of these if you're into the stoves. It clicks on, they all spin up. I'll be doing a separate review of just this, especially compared. I'll do a little competition with my other fuel tabs if they can even get working. So here would be my little pail. Went and grab this, and you just screw the canister on here, low profile. You can put the base down if you need it, and then you put your water in here, and you just set it right on there, and you boil away. The flame comes out of here. Obviously, you have to light it, and then you control the fuel with this little spinner thing, whatever you want to call it, and then when you're done, you fold it back up, and then you put it back in your little bag, and you have your small, I think it's 22 grams. I'll put it in here. It doesn't weigh anything. But talk about a light, cooking setup. You got this this fits in here, and in the bottom groove of this, you can all put it in a mesh little bag, or you can just put it inside your cup here. It's nice and flat. Fits all in there. And if you want to bring an extra one or whatnot, but that is my. This is not new, but I was just showing you this to compare on how to work it if you weren't familiar with that. But that is my new gear that I will be testing for this season. Hopefully in the next month or so, I'll get out camping in the colder weather. Hopefully it'll snow. And I'll be able to get out in the snow, and depending on how much snow it is, I might go and test my sled. If you haven't seen that video, you can go check it out in the description on how to build my DIY pole sled. But that is my video for the gear I'll be testing in 2020. You can go check out the links in the description, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace. It says it weighs 14 pounds. 14 pounds. It says it weighs 4 pounds,